How do you feel about the city supporting nonprofits? For example, the Senior Center or the Paradise Center for the Arts?
My view on supporting those is actually one of limited partnerships with government and nonprofit and charities. There's many charities in town that could use some assistance, I believe, besides those two. I don't know how far we should reach out, but for instance, recently I've had experience with a homeless person. Once you become homeless, for a man in Faribault, there is no resources. How do you get if the man I'm talking about wants to leave wants to return to useful society, wants to go to drug treatment, he's been waiting 6 weeks for that. He currently, if he had a job, if anybody hired him, he has no access to a shower, any facilities like that. So I don't know how to do this, but how to get accomplished, but I'd like to have something happen in that area.
Well, currently the money that we spend on the nonprofits for the city of Faribault comes from the cable TV franchise fees imposed by the Federal Communications Commission, and this began in the 1970s. And currently, as the rules are written, it only applies to traditional video delivery, which includes cable TV companies and telephone companies. Once these industries migrate to IP delivery, also known as IP television, these funds will dry up. And our nonprofits are aware of this. It has always been the intent of this council, and the one I served on previously, to offer this funding as a short-term solution. And it is my belief that with the exception of some organizations, this is outside the scope of what I believe the city should be doing. While I believe these groups are important and do provide the community with great service, I don't subscribe to the idea that the city should be picking and choosing which nonprofits are winners and which ones are losers.
Supporting nonprofits in the city of Faribault is great for the city. The dollars that they ask for are not large amounts. And we're not a big enough community where we can get huge endowments and things built up for these, the Paradise Center, the Senior Center, those kind of events that we have and that they hold. They're the backbone of our community, of who we are, and they're the strength of our community. So cities the size of Faribault need to subsidize some nonprofits along the way.
I believe there's a number of nonprofits in town that directly benefit the city, and therefore continued support for those nonprofits are necessary. Just an example, the Paradise Center of the Arts. Now granted, you can say, do we really need arts? Can we live without it? Maybe, but arts, whether it's performance arts or music or art classes or exhibitions, that is a necessary thing for a community. It enriches our lives, it brings happiness, it brings relaxation, education, and community togetherness. And the same goes for the Senior Center, for the community television, for the Riverbend Nature Center. We all need that because it's all diverse things to do in a city. And those nonprofits also attract people to come to town, and you know, those people will spend money in town, they'll go shopping, they go to bars, they go to restaurants. And just think about it, if all these nonprofits would disappear, it would become a pretty dull community.